Okay, those of you that regularly watch my channel know that I'm not a person that complains. You know, I don't complain about Chinesium crap. I don't complain about bad service. All right, you don't believe that for a minute, do you? And I can't say I blame you. I'm going to talk about two companies and the two different types of responses I've had from these companies. Now, obviously, I am not a big conglomerate. I'm not a garage. I'm just one guy that spends his hard-earned money trying to restore his car and expects to get what he paid for. American Autotrans, sorry, and S&G Barrett, and also as a subsidiary, well, not a subsidiary, a side, Autosparks. American Autotrans, I bought a Tremec T5 gearbox from them. Lots of people have said they're great. I've yet to find out. Mine's in the car, but you know, I'm not at a point where I can drive it. However, when it arrived, there was something wrong, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. So I took photographs and I sent them to American Autotrans, and they said, "Oh my God, sorry, terribly sorry. That should have been machined. That should have been done. You should have had this. You should have had that." They sent me a box with a prepaid shipping label to put the gearbox in, to send it back to them, which I did. They then sent it back to me with all of the necessary work done. Then today, I decided, oh, I'm going to fit the gear lever because I'm trying to turn the engine over, and it's having an issue, and that could be down to the battery. But I thought, well, maybe the gearbox is engaged. I'll put the gear lever on. Well, I grabbed the gear lever, and the bolts that go through the lever to hold it to the transmission were too big to go through the gear lever. And also, it was 90 degrees off. So I sent them a voicemail and an email complaining and, you know, saying, guys, what's going on? After about an hour or so, I tried to put the lever on again, and I discovered that I'd screwed up. Hands up, I'd screwed up with the direction of the lever. It may sound silly, but I had, and I'm not going to go into details, but anyway. However, the bolt holes were wrong in the lever itself. They were 3/8 bolts going through a 5/16 bolt hole. Not going to happen. However, I'd already sent the email and I'd already sent a voicemail. I immediately followed up with an email to say, terribly sorry, I'm a dumbass. You know, I screwed up. I'll put my hand up when I screw up, and I had. Nonetheless, I still got a phone call from them, and they said, hey, you know, terribly sorry you're having a problem. And I said, okay, you know, I fixed the first one. However, on the second problem, with the holes not being the right size for the bolts you sent me, and in fact that the adapter, shall we call it, is already tapped to accept the 3/8 bolts, whereas I can't get them there because the 5/16 hole won't let me. This they apologised for profusely and said, thank you very much for letting us know. We love the customer feedback, and we will do what we need to do to rectify this problem so that no other customers have this issue. That was great. Excuse me, dry throat. So, the next problem, wiring harnesses. Now, I don't know how long ago it was. Let's say it was a year for argument's sake. I ordered a complete wiring harness set. This is what I requested from S&G Barrett, with the exception of harness number 168 because I already had it. They sent me a complete wiring harness as they believed it. It was from Autosparks, a UK company. Okay, I'm getting round and I'm putting in the wiring harnesses, and I'm discovering various issues. Certain connections were the wrong type. Other connections were where they should have been right angle connectors, they were straight. Some of the connections, when I inserted them, they didn't work or they came off. Okay, you know, I can deal with that. However, I then discovered there were some harnesses missing. The instrument light harness for the tachometer and speedo, the harness completely missing, and no lamp holders either. There doesn't appear to be a harness for the reverse light switch. There is not a harness for the brake light indicator on the dash, and there is not a harness for the clock that is in the tachometer. The one that's in the clock for the tachometer, the clock one, no big deal really. You know, it's a piece of wire, so long. No, not a problem. So I call S&G Barrett and say, hey, I'm missing this harness and this harness and this harness. Oh, okay, no problem. We'll get on to Autosparks. Then via S&G Barrett, Autosparks asked me what gauge of wire, what size of lamp holder. Don't you know your own product? So, you know, I said it's the same as it should be. You know, I mean, I was getting a little ticked off by now, as you could imagine, because when I bought a complete wiring harness, as I said, with the exception of the one I said don't send, I expect it to be complete. But that's not what I got. Anyway, I then found a harness that I didn't know what it did. Wasn't in a bag, so I have no clue what it is. So I sent a picture and a question to Autosparks saying, hey guys, I've got a 1964 Jaguar Mark II 3.8 right-hand drive. I found this harness. I have no clue what it's for. It wasn't in a bag, blah, blah, blah. What's the part number? They replied. I don't know. I've just told you it wasn't in a bag. I don't know what the part number is. This is my vehicle. This is what it fits. This is what you sent me. Is it something for my vehicle, or was it just one that just happened to get put in there? We need the part number. If I knew the part number, I wouldn't be asking you where it goes, because I'd be able to look it up. So that goes backwards and forwards. I get no satisfaction from these customer service people. All right, where do I go from here? I send another email to S&G Barrett and say, look, this is what's happening. This is the kind of service I'm getting. You guys sold me a complete wiring harness, and it's not complete, and I don't blame you. You sold me what you believe to be a complete wiring harness, even though, you know, there are little, you know, things that are wrong. The connectors are wrong or whatever. Some wires were shorter than they should have been. Some are longer than they should have been. All right, you know, those are minor things you can deal with. But missing harnesses, no. This morning, I receive an email from the sales manager at S&G Barrett. Hey, can you tell me exactly what the problem is? Now, I have already sent it to the salesperson I deal with. And I'm, you know, obviously was not happy. I was getting madder and madder. The sales manager says, oh, you know, you're hostile. No, I'm pissed off. I have spent a lot of money with S&G Barrett, and they should have got on to Autosparks, said, hey guys, we need these items. You know, it's a few pieces of wire, a few lamp holders, for want of a better word, a couple of connections, and the problem would have been resolved and I'd be singing their praises. Instead, I get the sales manager telling me I'm hostile because I say, hey, if you guys can't sort this out, then I see no reason why I shouldn't, I wouldn't say bad mouth, but tell people on my channel and the people that I know in various clubs and around the world the type of service I've received. And then you guys, you make your own minds up. You do what you want to do. I am not mentioning anybody's names, just the companies, and saying what has happened. Now, if you still want to go with those companies, then that's fine. I have been with S&G Barrett for years and years and years. When I was back in the UK and since I've been in America, I have been buying stuff from them. I really don't blame them, but I hoped they would have sorted it all out. In the end, I got so fed up with my time being wasted once these companies had received my money that I am going to make my own harnesses. It will probably take me 20 minutes to make these harnesses. Not difficult, not rocket science, about 20 minutes. 4 lamp holders, maybe 20 inches of wire, if that, and then another couple of, bullet connectors, spade connectors, whatever connectors I need. So again, you make your mind up. I'm merely telling you what has happened to me. You decide whether or not you think it's worth using these companies. I would say yes to American Auto Trains. I would say probably to S&G Barrett. Autosparks, you make your own mind up. I'm not going to do that for you. Again, as always guys, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Ding the dong, then you know when I get more pissed off, when I put more shit out there. And obviously you see me working on my cars. Now, get out in the garage, go do some shit. Bye.